Okay. You gonna get all of the kill. Lord have mercy. What's going on, people? Ah, there we go. Y'all folks in Dallas. Listen, these Dallas folks, if you live out here in Dallas, boy, you gotta learn how to drive for you and everybody on the highway. These folks just don't be caring at all. Can y'all hear me fine? You know I gotta always ask that. Can y'all hear me fine? Okay, with me asking that question, I also gotta ask, um, did any of y'all catch that live today, this morning? It was like a surprise live. Mike showed up on Ready Set Go. Mike showed up on RP. What going on, baby? Mike showed up on Ready Set Go today, and I didn't know anything about it. I didn't even see it until G-Lo had put it in our little group chat. So you know, I'm like, oh shit, man, Mike on Ready Set Go. First of all, why the hell y'all didn't tell nobody? Let's talk about that part. Maybe it was. Oh, I'm not gonna sit and pretend like it was last minute. That shit went last minute. It was planned. Nah, goddamn it, Rodney. Y'all know I love y'all. Why the hell y'all didn't tell nobody that was about to happen? Okay. And the reason why I'm saying why the hell didn't y'all tell nobody, because that type of I'd say that type of interview, the track world should have had their opportunity to also hear him speak. The track world should have had their opportunity to ask their questions in the comments. The track world should have had their opportunity to listen, ask questions, do stuff of that nature. More importantly, if somebody like RaesTake didn't even know that y'all was finna do a show, and again, this ain't no dissing like that, I'm just speaking out. If somebody like RaesTake didn't even know you was doing the show, how would the rest of the world even know you was doing the show? And now again, I'm just being, okay, first of all, because don't take nothing this personal, because I'm talking to them, I'm talking to everybody, yada, yada, yada. So again, please don't take nothing I'm saying personal, all right? Because it's all about the numbers, all right? I watched that entire live. During that entire live, the amount of, the highest number that they had never broke 600, okay? So let me make sure I get this straight. Michael Johnson has been labeled this person, that person, scam, this, that. Everybody been talking about Grand Slam. Everybody been wanting to know information. But the live only had 500 people in it, which means a lot of people didn't even know or get to see or any of that it was even going on. So now what's going to happen is, via me talking about it and via them saying stuff later, people are going to go back and now watch it. Now, here's the thing I'm going to say about that. I love RaesTake. I pride myself in my crew all the time because we do numbers. Like, we do numbers and we ain't got none of the, and again, it's not a diss at Rodney. It's just, they know I'm not, I'm just speaking out loud. We do numbers tripled everybody and we ain't got shit professional. We be in cars like I am right now. Fraser be on the couch, damn near sleep. But if we go, well, we ain't got to talk about it. We see 2,000 people anytime we go live. If it's just me, I'm going to hit 700 by my damn self. And we don't be talking about, well, on the show we talk a lot of shit, but I don't be talking about nothing. So my whole thing behind that is this. If you're going to be in that lane and you're going to be the voice of, you know, I guess I'll say track and field, because we all kind of voice of track and field. If you're going to play that role, you got to play it the full way. You can't half play it. And what I mean by half play it is, now, that should have been retweeted, repeated 100 times that Michael Johnson was about to come and speak. That should have been said. Everybody in track and field should have known at that exact time what time the live was going to come on that Michael Johnson was going to speak. Why? Because the entire track world want to hear from you, bro. Don't just a few people. Don't just some people who follow Justin want to hear from y'all. The entire track world want to hear from it, okay? Now, I get it. Now the entire track world can, because they can go back and listen to the video again. But if anybody of importance in any other sport calls a press conference, because that's what that was. Like, you're Michael Johnson. Like, you called a press conference where you could have did that press conference anywhere. Anybody would have took that story. I'm glad you did the Ready, Set, Go. That's kind of like when Trayvon came to me in 2021 and didn't want to go to ESPN. I respect that. That's love. But you called a press conference and didn't want nobody literally that would be in the fan base watching it. And my thing behind that is, are you afraid that people are going to judge you? Are you afraid that people are going to ask those questions in those comments that don't want to be asked? Or are you afraid that the answers that you're going to give, that when you're asked these questions, some might say that's some bullshit because you didn't even answer the question that was asked? See, these are the things that I'm looking at while I'm watching it, while I'm watching the live. Like, again, bro, you come to my live, it'd be a whole lot of different shit. It's a lot of questions that was asked that I can tell that you've been trained to avoid answering the question. And I can also tell that, and it's no disrespect to Justin or Ryder, y'all know they're my boys. They asked the hard questions, but they didn't make him stay in the hard questions with the right answer. They would ask the question of, so what about the athletes? You know, are they going to get paid? They asked the right questions. But then Mike danced around the whole question. And I'm listening to it like he's dancing around the question, y'all. You're not going to make him answer it directly instead of all it. Oh, so he's been coached. So because he's been coached, he's literally doing what he's supposed to do. But now watch this right here. That's why in any industry, you pretty much, you select certain platforms and certain things to do a press conference on, because you know I won't get answered. If I go sit on CNN, they're going to ask me these questions. If I go sit down with Dateline, they're going to ask me these questions. If I go sit down with just my local news, they might only ask me these questions. So you're going to pick the avenues you want to go through so that the answers you give will fit that audience, okay? Meaning, we would have drilled the shit out of you, because here's what I took from that whole everything you just said. 'Cause I listened to all of it. You failed. I don't give a damn how y'all try to sugarcoat it on the show. I don't give a damn how. Yes, Mike, we all understand how businesses run, whether you don't have one or not. Yes, Rodney, I love you as a brother, but you ain't got to have no business degree to understand business. I sit on $325,000 a year, and I can show my financials, and I ain't got not damn business degree at all. What I got is a common damn sense of how to run a business, how to make shit happen to make money. So don't just say the people with business degrees will understand, because if you actually do your research, most of the motherfuckers who got business degrees, they work for people who don't have a degree. That's how this shit always has been that way. True entrepreneurs or true owners who are actually pushing the buttons, who are actually saying this gonna get done, that gonna get done, 90% of them don't even have a degree in that. You can go back to all of your famous people. You can, the J.D. Rockefellers, the J.P. Morgan Chases, the Michael J. These folks ain't got a damn degree, but they got damn standing on top of shit because they're hiring. Now listen to me. They're hiring the people with the degrees. Grand Slam didn't go hire the people with the degrees. So let's not talk about, well, you know, the people who ain't got business degrees, they gonna have something to say about it. Because I got something to say and I ain't got no business degree. But yet I own my own goddamn, we ain't gonna get all that. But anyway, so here's my whole thing about it. Reason why I say you failed, because the one, fuck the Brit. Now I'm gonna say it like that. Fuck all the other stuff that y'all were talking about. Forget all the pretty stuff that you did. Well, you know, when we was at Kingston, it was beautiful. We was like, this is exactly what we want to do. That's what they said. When we was in Kingston, this is exactly what we want to do. We want to make it just like this. When we was in Miramar, we was like, yeah, this is it. This is exact. So we're gonna build off of this. No, my ninja, because what you came and what y'all came and what y'all was saying is, this shit is supposed to be about the athletes getting paid. Forget all that extra fluffy shit that y'all were talking about on the interview and all the, well, you know, this person got a chance to shine and somebody didn't know about who this worker was, and because of Grand Slam, man, damn all that. The number one problem in track and field is the athletes don't get paid. That's what we've been saying forever. The number one problem is the money. The number one problem is when they go run in Europe, it takes months to get paid. The number one problem is contracts don't pay enough. The number one problem is they don't make enough money. And you want to get on here on a whole hour show talking about all the good stuff that Grand Slam did, missing the whole effing point. It was for the athletes. Not a single athlete has gotten their money. So none of that pretty shit matters. You missed the whole objective. Don't nobody care about that pretty shit that happened in Kingston. Don't nobody care about the lights. Don't nobody care about the fireworks. All we care about is you said these folks was gonna get their money. Fuck the damn lights. Don't buy the lights. Pay the athletes their money. Fuck the TV time and all this pretty shit. Do what you said you was doing it for. You were supposed to be doing it for the athletes. You were supposed to be doing it for the athletes to get paid. You weren't supposed to be doing it so it looked pretty to the average person watching track and field. You weren't supposed to be doing it so that the household person now knows who Maggie, whoever is. They don't give a damn about that shit, for real. The main objective was you convinced us that athletes was getting paid. So don't come on out now. One of these goddamn shows, I'm talking to you, Justin, don't come on now on these goddamn shows talking about all this other shit about Grand Slam. Because the number one thing that it was supposed to do was make sure athletes taken care of. How a goddamn athlete taken care of if they ain't got their money? How did you do your job if the first and foremost, if don't nothing else happens out of this league in this first year, y'all gonna get some money? Don't nothing else matter. Nothing else matters. And that's why I'm sitting here like, bro, why are you dodging these questions? Like, nah, nigga, forget all that. Why didn't the athletes get their money? I don't want to hear shit about nothing else about, you know, it was pretty, we did this, yeah, make it ugly then. Make it ugly so they can get paid. Like, that was my whole problem with that whole, like, y'all dancing around shit like, you know what, we did this, and, you know, and this person was able to get this, and this person was able to get that, but ain't none of that shit y'all talking about they got gonna pay not damn bill. Ain't none of that shit y'all talking about they got gonna put any food in their refrigerator. Ain't not none of that shit y'all talking about. Ain't not none of that shit y'all talking about gonna actually help these athletes because it's the finances. And I don't, as a former athlete, and I'm kind of upset because y'all are former athletes, I don't appreciate y'all sitting around them making it sound like Grand Slam. Oh man, I just hope it come back next year. Oh, I just hope. No, the fuck I don't. I hope you pay these folks. That's what I hope. I don't give two shits about no hoping it come back next year. I don't want to talk about that. All I want to know is how did y'all mess up the money on what was supposed to go to the athletes, and how are you gonna fix that? They even asked the question of, well, you know, if another investor comes in, would they have to actually put in, you know, to cover the debt? And you know, he kind of answered that like, yes, they would. But based off of what we're at now, it's listen, cut the bullshit. All right, look here, man. I don't sold dope. I don't sold water. Cut the bullshit. Ain't nobody finna do none of that shit. Why? Because the product did not work. Period. I don't give a damn what y'all talking about. And then, well, you know, if you look at the ratings between when we was on and the other sports, you were competing against Loved and Locked Up. I saw the ratings. We all saw the ratings. The people you was competing against on the CW during that time slot, y'all talking like you was competing against Cornhole. And even they outdid y'all numbers. So the whole fluffed up shit up, well, you know, cause we did good in this aspect, and everybody that was, you know what, that was going against us during that time slot, we outdid. I literally saw the CW shit. The Loved and Locked Up was right underneath y'all. At the damn bottom. You did not do no sport on ESPN. You did not do no sport on Fox Next. You didn't do none of that. And those are the actual numbers that investors are going to be looking at. Like, why do I want to help get you out of debt to help give you more money when you ain't even showcasing I'm going to make money? Like, that's why I can't host that interview because I'm going to call bullshit like, bro, ain't nobody finna do that. So what you want me to believe as Ray, what you want me to believe is right now you in debt. You are in debt. And now watch this. I want to make sure everybody understand this, because a lot of people, they was trying to say it on the show how folks don't understand business. Yes, guess what? Your first year, you will go in the red. You will. Your second year, good possibility. Third year, my third year as a gym owner is when I took off. They are 100% correct about that. But guess what, though? Nobody did it not get paid during those 3 months. Clint, Jeremy Warner, he got paid. Ray, I got paid. The other trainers that was working with me, they got paid. Guess what went under? My company did. On books, literally, I was in the red. But I was in the red because everybody that was supposed to get paid, they got their paycheck. I wasn't in the red because I was trying to build a gym that looked so luxurious, my first one, and shit like that, to where I don't overspend the budget. Now I can't pay the actual working people. No, the people that were there, they got their money. That's why the companies go in the red, because they grow from that. How you gonna grow from that point? If I'm an investor and I'm sitting here saying, how you gonna get the athletes back when you promised them money and they didn't get that money? So how am I even gonna believe that an athlete gonna try your shit again? Because I wouldn't. I definitely wouldn't. There's no way in hell I would if I was an athlete. So if I'm an investor, that's how I'm gonna be talking. Like, well, wait a minute, bro. Let me see your numbers. Wait a minute. So you in the red already, millions, and you not only want me to believe in this product that is gonna make millions and get my money out. So to me, it was just like, what he's saying is correct. Trust me, it's correct from a business standpoint. An investor can come in and buy your debt. One can, but they gotta see the potential in that company and the reasonings why it failed and the reasons why it can succeed. Nobody's gonna do an evaluation on track and field and say that it's gonna succeed financially with anything you do with any type of setup. It's not. It's not gonna do that, okay? My main frustration as I listened to that whole shit, he said it though. He was like, but right now the main focus is, before we talk about going to a new year and Grand Slam, before we do any of that, the main focus is getting the athletes paid. My ninja, that should have been the main focus from day one. That's where y'all dropped the damn ball at. That was the day one main focus. You should have been able to come back and say, look, we might not have a Grand Slam season 2. You know, we tried the red, but we in the red. We don't have the money because we made sure the athletes got paid. So since we made sure the athletes got paid, we kind of, you know, tapped into the budget too much, and we may not be able to do it again. I want to hear that. I don't want to hear no, oh yeah, well, we're trying to look forward to another season. I would rather you not have another season because you gave the money to the athletes versus money was spent. Now we got to go try and find some more money just to get out of debt, just to pay the athletes, just to get back in the same scenario. Because guess what? If this investor, this new imaginary investor, if they were to come in, buy us out of debt, we're right back in the same situation. Literally. Because now we already know how much money we got to pay the athletes. So what they not trying to disclose is it's 4 times as much as what you're asking for. Stop playing with me like I don't do this. You first got to have enough to cover what you owe. Then you got to have enough because you've already experienced the expenses of what it costs to pay the athletes. That's twice as much now. Then you got to have enough to sustain the season. That's 3 times as much. And then you got to have a cushion because you went under the first year. That's 4 times as much. Nobody's doing that shit. Stop playing with me. Now y'all starting tapping to the real side of Ray, not the track side. Ain't nobody doing that shit. Stop selling them dreams, okay? Because that's the shit that really be pissing me off, per usual, because again, a lot of these athletes, I rock with them. They my friends. I fuck with a lot of them. I know what it feel like when you don't ran them races. I know what it feel like when it's like, man, where my money at? Where money and your money don't come. That's why I'm so passionate about it. Like, bro, what the hell? What the hell? That is not what you damn said was gonna happen. The main thing was never get more eyes and views on the sport. That's not how y'all approached it. If you had approached it that way and said, we're really trying to grow the sport, so we may not even have prize money, that's one way. But your claim to fame, when all this shit got started, the reason why you're better than the Diamond League It's because you pay more and you pay quicker. You failed miserably at that. That was the objective. So don't come on these damn shows and you come talk to me face to face, bro. I say the same thing. Don't come on these shows sugarcoating that shit trying to get the support back. Bro, we would support you no matter what if you kept it 100. You know what I'm saying? Because even Rodney had said that shit, like, you know, we should really gather behind Mike and say, what does Grand Slam need? What type of help do they need? First of all, yeah. But the first thing you got to do is keep it 100. Keep it real. Be straight up with folks. Because what you're witnessing is there's a lot of real niggas and real, I mean say it like that, but a lot of real folks are like, man, no, we can't support that. Why can't we support that? Because, again, I love Rodney. I'm just going off what he said. A lot of us ain't got them business degrees, but that don't mean we won't know what the hell we talking about when we giving ideas that is help. You know how many of us are saying, I told you so right now? That was help. You just didn't want the help because it didn't come from the board you wanted to come from, or probably from the color you wanted to come from, or the person. But my ninjas, we gave y'all the help. We literally said that shit ain't gonna work that way. Try it this way. Try it that way. Don't do it that way. Guess why you should do that? Because it's called the consumer. That's the number one thing you learn in business for real. You listen to the consumer. And everybody on the day, what's my? We listen to the fans. We listen to the fans. No, you did not. Because if you listen to the fans, even the fans told you, hey, we like the setup, but why so long? Hey, we love the fact that y'all giving these folks out the money, but you didn't do none of the shit that, watch this. This is what's called beta testing, and this is where y'all messed up at. You messed up at because you could have got all of that information from them. The reason why I keep praising Athos is because they're doing it the right way. Athos is doing it the way it's supposed to be. Let me drop it out here first, and then let me get some feedback before I go and invest 10, 20, $30 million into it. Let me back up, pump my brakes, throw it out there. And now after I throw Athos out there, now I'm finna go ask everybody, hey, what y'all thought about that track meet? Because now what I can do is I can now take everything the consumer is saying, and when I do the next one, I'm gonna build off of that. That's how you run a business. You don't throw it out there and then along the way, now you learn, because it's a fresh idea. That was the messed up part. You had and then now watch this. Here's where they slipped up and let me hear, whether it was true or not. It was like, you know, because we spent a year or two on just drilling information and get, well, hold on, bro. You spent, what, a year or two? That's why that shit failed right there. Like, you can't build no shit, not nothing of that caliber can be built, in just my personal opinion, in anything under 5 to 7 years before you even drop. Like, you don't drop no whole league after doing a year or two of, you know, we did some R&D, the team or whatever. That shit, as a businessman, and I say I am, goddammit, I don't work for nobody. That shit blew me. Pause, no homo, no diddy. It really did. Because I'm sitting here like, my ninja, how many years? Because for me, for Grand Slam that had came out this year to this year, we're in 2025. For me, I would have expected the idea of Grand Slam to have hit a whiteboard in 2017, Jack. That's me. Like, you finna create a whole league and what? And you didn't, this shit didn't start in 2017. Bro, you already behind. Already behind. And so when I'm sitting there listening to this shit, I'm like, bro, like, who's really behind this shit? That's what I be wanting to ask now, like, who's really behind this shit? Because there's no way that, let me say it like this. This ain't no disrespect to Rodney or Justin. To my boys, they know I love them. I love them, they know that. But I feel as though their respect for Mike on the track side, wouldn't allow them to attack him like this, which is why he would choose that type of platform. Like, I come on, y'all, I read through all that shit. Like, this ain't nothing that I just do. Like, yeah, because, well, they want to hear from it, so let me make sure I give them something. Okay, but you gonna give them something. But look here, just because I'm hungry don't mean I'm gonna eat shit. I'm hungry, but you still can't just feed me shit. But some people you can do that. Okay, so sum it all up. Me personally, I watched that whole video and I didn't even get in the comments. I saw Aaron in the comments. I saw Mr. 100K in the comments. I said, I'm not going to get in the comments because if I hop in these comments, it's going to deter the entire interview is going to change. Because I'm not trying, I mean, y'all already know that shit. I run my mouth so much, that's the power of RaesTake. If I get in them comments, now everybody's about to comment at me. And now while they streaming, they gotta see my comments. So I say, you know what? Let me stay back. I ain't gonna do that because I wanna actually watch the whole interview without it being disrupted. Y'all, and I'm not saying this shit to sound cool or sound nothing like that. If it's any live or anything that I tap into in track and field, by the time they see that RaesTake is on there, they're going to ask to be a part of the show. Okay? So I didn't want to do that shit because I wanted to actually watch it and listen to it. So again, this ain't nothing against Justin or Rodney and them my boys. I'm just doing what I do best and give my take on a race or interview, whatever it is that I saw. I did everything I saw, whatever I saw. That shit there, I commend Rodney and Justin because trust me, if y'all ain't watched it, go watch it. You'll see what I'm talking about. Matter of fact, if you ain't, I want you to watch it so you'll see what I'm saying make more sense. They asked all the right questions. All the right questions. Rodney even asked Mike straight up if Athos, you know, if they gave you a car, would you be entertained in it? Mike responded, you know, back when, you know, the typical we all want to see love, you know, we all want to love track and field, yada, yada. So yeah, I would take the call. My ninja, that ain't the question. That ain't the, I would take the call, ain't the question. Ninja, you need help. That was the question. Nigga, I know. You evaded the whole everything. The man asked you if he was to pick up the phone, call you, and possibly want to invest or whatever, yada, 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 would you be interested in it? And go watch the video, I'm telling y'all. The answer that he gave was when he went around the whole circle, I would take the call. Nah, bro, I want to know if you're going to take the money. Damn, take the call. If he call you and say, Mike, I want to bail you out and I want to help it out and buy it out and put Athos' name on it. That's the question. Will you take the money? Because you saying no to that type of question lets us know that your mind ain't really on the athletes. Because that answer alone told me that same ego that helped you break the 400-meter record, that same ego that helped you break the 200-meter record, that same ego that helped you get all them gold medals is the same ego why Grand Slam is failing. It's the exact same ego. You don't take the call. You call that ninja. Why do you call him? I don't know. He's actually a successful business person. He's actually sold million-dollar companies. You pick up the phone and say, hey, and I talk to you. Not I'll take the call. Nigga, take the call. Last time I checked, you broke. Last time I checked, your shit didn't work. Last time I checked, he's in Times Square this October. You will take the call. You better pick up the phone and make the call. That alone again to me is like, okay, so this shit here ain't real. It's not for real. And I know this video gonna get to him, and it should. Y'all need to hear it. It's not for real because it's for real. By for real, I mean if it was for real for the athletes, with the athletes in mind, we would not even be in this situation. We wouldn't even be in this situation. Point, period, blank. There's no way you get whatever, and it's, well, one of the investors pulled out. Okay, then guess what? You're even more at fault now for not, literally, you're even more at fault now for the athletes not having the money, because that means you put their money on the back burner. You put their shit on the back end. Bro, nah, watch this right here. Hey, call Miramar. Yeah, call him up. Damn, man, damn all the NBC shit, man. Damn all the extra shit. Look here, tell these folks I got a track meet going on. They call Grand Slam. It ain't on TV. It ain't on none of that shit. It ain't none of that shit that going on. But I'm paying these folks their money. That's all you. That's it. That's it. If you really about the athletes, hey man, call that local high school up. Yeah, call the high school up. Call the high school up. When you call the high school up, tell them we just want to track for a couple hours. You know what I'm saying? I'll bring my own security. And then soon when these folks cross finish line, kapaya, here go your money. Here go your money. Because guess what? Guess what? Probably gonna happen. If you do that, investors are probably gonna pull out. You know why they probably gonna pull out? Because they didn't make no money. Man, I ain't make no money, man, because this shit went on TV, it went nowhere. Yeah, it didn't make no money, I'm sorry, but guess what? Them athletes got paid a lot of money, and that's all I cared about. Hustle the right hustlers, bro. It's like you hustle us. Like you hustle backwards. You hustle the same people that you call that you a part of. You supposed to be an athlete alumni. You supposed to be an athlete representative. You supposed to be all this shit, and you hustled us. And when I say us, because shit, nigga, I'm an athlete alumni. You hustled us because we didn't get paid. If anything, if investors pulled out, they should have pulled out because Mike gave all the money to the athletes, and we didn't make no money. You're a hero now. What I said about 2 months ago, there is a there's a difference between let me say it right. There's not much of a difference between a hero and an asshole. There's not much of a difference, okay? If you lose a Grand Slam deal or you lose an investor because you haven't paid anybody, you're an asshole. If you lose it because all the athletes have gotten paid, you're now a hero. In our eyes, you're a hero. And then we will turn around and help support you because you made sure that we, as a track community, as athletes, you made sure we were first. So now if you want Grand Slam to come back, hell yeah. But do we need to help you? We got your back, bro. We got your back. But it didn't go that way. It went the opposite. It went the complete opposite. So I personally didn't like the interview. I appreciated the interview 100%. Hold on. Let me see what they just sent me. Hold on. Okay, let me read this. Thank you for your patience as Grand Slam Track works to make payments to your athletes. As we are at the end of July, we want to provide you an updated. Well, we are with the Kingston prize money payments. They talking about Kingston. Grand Slam Track is anticipating investor funds to hit our account imminently, and the athletes are our top priority. Once these funds are received on our end, we will work to immediately process them to your athletes. Noting all banks have different timelines for receiving and depositing funds into individual accounts. We are in the process of recapitalizing the company, and we are committed to distributing funds to athletes as soon as we receive them. As we continue to receive funds in the upcoming months, we will distribute payments as they come in. We will continue making progress towards completing your full payment at the earliest date possible. Did y'all hear what I just read? Did y'all hear what I just read? I don't know if y'all heard what I just read. I probably had to try and read it again. But, see, I know bullshit when I see it. Hold on one second. So check this out. Hold on, y'all. I'm coming right back. Because now I'm finna get them. Now I got to get them. Hold on. Where we at? Did y'all hear what I just read? Did y'all hear what I just read? If not, I'll just figure out a way to read it again. Here's what you can't do. Here's what you can't do, especially somebody like me, because I read in between the lines. You can't start out by saying imminently, because imminently means very soon. And then you get to your end, to your last couple paragraphs and say in the upcoming months. Well, that's not imminently. You can't say very soon. You can't say very soon. And then at the end, on the back end, say in the next upcoming months. Well, bro, that ain't very soon no more. Look up the word imminently if y'all think I'm playing. How you gonna tell me imminently? So with me, I'm thinking next week then. Shit, what you talking? I'm thinking next week. Private net, I can start making me some, some phone call. Hey, bro, my money coming soon. Why? It said imminently. Oh, but you read the last paragraph? What it said? In the upcoming months. Oh, that's some lawyer shit then. Well, I thought they paid. Yeah, but imminently was the what we meant by imminently was it wasn't gonna take us 10 years. It was only gonna take one. So that's soon. 1 year is soon compared to 10. Oh well, it took us 2 years. That's imminently compared to 30. Like, come on, y'all. Y'all see this shit to where it's like this why they don't like me? Because I'm a call the bullshit. I'm like, bro, just keep it 100 with folks. That's it. And you're talking about imminently for Kingston, Jamaica, which was in April, May, June, July, August, 4 months ago. So imminently for Kingston 4 months ago is a couple months. Then what the hell gonna happen come time for damn Philadelphia money? They gonna get that shit goddamn by the Olympics? Y'all see what I'm saying? That's why I'm sitting here looking at this shit like, bro, y'all can't be doing this shit because I'ma call you out. I'ma literally call you out, and I'ma call you hypocrites. And I'ma call you that because every last one of y'all that was sitting on that thing, right now, I love all y'all. But all three of y'all, you know the truth. You do know it. You acting like a 1%er because y'all are in the 1%. Meaning, Justin didn't really struggle for a little while after the drug stuff he did. Justin didn't really struggle like some of these athletes struggle. He came out of Tennessee and won 2004 trials. You never really seen the struggle for real. For a little bit you did. Mike, you never really seen the struggle for real either. So it's kind of like in society, you got the 1%ers trying to relate to the common man when the common man is saying, I never saw a Justin Gatlin contract. I never saw a Michael Johnson contract. I never got to get treated like Michael Johnson. I never got to get treated like Justin Gatlin. But those are some of the athletes you had to attract me. You had the regular athletes. You didn't bring in the superstars like you. You didn't bring in the Noahs. You didn't bring in the Shakari's. You brought in the athletes that you knew needed the money. And them the ones you hustled. So damn all that, man. Folks talking about grand scam, it was this. That was not my intentions. Good intentions, bad decisions lead to shit looking like this. Period, point blank. Y'all need to make that shit right. Not keep coming on these goddamn platforms with this, well, we tried. What you're trying to do is you're trying to alleviate and deviate from the actual truth that you owe millions of dollars. That's all we care about. Don't nobody care about the attendance that was at damn Miramar. Don't nobody care about the attendance. Don't nobody care about none of that shit. Don't nobody care about the half of one when we took this one out. Nobody cares. All we care about is you owe $12-13 million to track athletes that showed up in the hot ass sun to run at your goddamn track meet. They had their family out there to support your shit. They was out there supporting your shit. These people out there taking time out their own schedule. They coaches taking time out their schedule. They therapists taking time out their schedule. These the folks that did all this shit to help your league, and you didn't pay them people. That is fucked up, bruh, on every level. I don't care how you take that message. The folks that goddamn built you up was the folks you didn't damn pay. Period. Point blank. And the reason why I say the folks that built you up is because without the athletes running, Grand Slams don't even exist. Period. Period. Without an athlete, you don't have nothing. Without an athlete, you don't have a company. Without an athlete, you don't have an investor. So the fact that without an athlete, which is the number one thing you needed, you didn't pay them, that's fucked up. And you're going to keep coming on here talking about all this extra shit of the hows and the whys and the well we could. Man, I don't want to hear that shit no more. I personally don't. And that's just me being passionate. I personally don't hear that shit no more. The next interview you have, I can't do nothing about it. I wish I could. The next interview you have, I want the question to be, what's the date? What's the date? I don't want no implements. I don't want no damn this or that. No. What are the dates that the athlete's going to get paid? Outside of that, we ain't got nothing else to talk about. I'm out of here because I'm getting mad all over again. I'll see y'all later.